Sometimes we can overdo it with the gear. We load up our pack like it's the zombie apocalypse for something as simple as a day hike. And I was guilty of the same thing. Never quite knowing what was appropriate or necessary for a day hike, I used to just grab everything in arm's reach and stuff it in a backpack and go. As you can imagine, soon afterwards I would regret this decision. I prefer planning for likely emergencies, and I think the most likely is actually someone's going to fall and get hurt. The second most likely I'd say is that weather might roll in, but since it's July in the high desert, that's pretty unlikely. We probably won't see rain until like September or November or April. I think the only other likely emergency is that you get lost, but honestly, there's a simple solution. Carry a compass and don't go off trail. In order to enjoy hiking most, I am a proponent of carrying as little as is necessary, which is actually quite dependent on the location of your hike. The 5 C's are there for a reason. They keep us from carrying too much and boil it down to just what's necessary. The 5 C's are combustion, container, cover, cutting tool, and cordage. I'm adding to that list compass, candling device, communications and cell phone, food, and kit of the first aid. For combustion, I carry a lighter and sometimes a ferro rod. You don't really need anything more unless you're going out to practice your fire making skills with primitive fire or flint and steel stuff. A container is another necessary part of our kit. With it you can carry your water, which is always important to have with you when you're going on hikes. Without it, there's no survival. Sometimes I like to carry 2 of these water bottles. And for those of you who are concerned that I don't have a stainless steel container to boil my water with, sometimes I'll just throw in a pot and a lid. I think a first aid kit is always a necessary part of your kit when you're out hiking. Even when I go to work, I always have a little first aid kit since I'm a teacher and kids are always getting hurt. For cutting tools, usually I'll just carry my Leatherman, but occasionally I'll throw in my Mora, just for kicks. A candling device, which I assume just means a flashlight or something. Usually I have like a little keychain light and a headlamp. Anything more, it's kind of unnecessary. I'm not planning on being out later than 2 or 3. One should always have a compass with them when they're out hiking. Why not? They don't weigh anything. Fit in pretty much any space. I have a whistle for communication. I know it's not really a C, but food for me is important because I get hungry and I like to eat. Now for cover, my clothes are basically the cover I bring, or sometimes I'll pack a hat just in case it gets too sunny.
Always. That is one of the essentials. This is Jude's dad. A hat is essential, or else you go bald.
We're cutting that one. And I always pack a hat because it's essential. Cordage is another one on the 5 C's. And for that, I just carry a couple little hanks of bank line and jute cordage. They don't really weigh anything, so I don't mind throwing them in there. My last C is my cell phone because I can call for help in an emergency or just text my mom that I'm safe. Anything else is more for pleasure or for redundancy. Like sometimes I like to carry my wilderness guidebooks. This waterproof pouch. My identifying trees, wild edibles, and my plants and wildflowers of Idaho. My list is short and my pack is light, and with it, I can go anywhere.